Hello and welcome to a theme park news update, brought to you from a hotel room at the other side of the world in Australia. I've got to say, I never thought I'd be sat in a hotel room at the other side of the world, bringing you a news update about Alton Towers. But here we are. Of course, earlier today, the Alton Towers Resorts officially announced their new attraction for 2023, the Curse at Alton Manor. Of course, this is a complete transformation of Duel, the haunted house strikes back. And earlier last year, we started hearing rumblings of some changes that would be coming to Duel. In fact, it was back in May when we first started taking a closer look at Duel and seeing that the ride was in quite a bad state. We got a lot of speculation going between many enthusiasts and of course many fans of the channel, and everybody started to realise that Duel was in a really poor state and there was a high chance of something happening. It wasn't until August 2022 when Alton Towers then of course announced that Duel would be closing, and then the ride closed in September. The property was repossessed. We had some great marketing with all the smoke, all the screens out the front, all the purple lighting for Scarefest and fireworks, and really building up the anticipation. And then it all went really quiet. Of course, Christmas and New Year has passed. You tend to find that with Alton Towers. They don't like doing big announcements at that time of year because they know that people's minds are going to be thinking of the festive season and other things. They wait until what I would call quite a dead time, which is January, once all that's in the past, to reveal new things. And here we go, the Curse at Alton Manor is the official name for this new attraction. And I tell you what, I am a big fan of the name. I'm really happy that Alton Towers didn't decide to go down the IP route, intellectual properties, things like Ghostbusters, things like that. As much as many people would have thought that would be cool, I really like the fact that we're seeing an original theme continue here, because you've got to think the attraction does originally date back to 1992, a John Wardley classic. In fact, we know that John Wardley is involved in the project as well, along with one of the leads at Merlin Magic Making, John Burton. So they've kind of come together on this project. And then, of course, yeah, a lot of the original kind of haunted house was lost for 2003 when Duel opened. Now, we're not expecting this to be a complete kind of throwback to the haunted house. This is more a third version, if you like, of that building, a third incarnation of a haunted house at Alton Towers. And you know what? I'm really excited for the Curse at Alton Manor. Now, we've been sent a press release. Obviously, you've already seen the visual, I'd imagine, by now. But here's a look at it. What an amazing piece of artwork there by Alton Towers. Looks really nice. Obviously, you can see the facade is still intact, as we were expecting. I'm imagining some more cosmetic upgrades to the outside of the ride, because yeah, the facade is stunning. What you can't see there is the big kind of structure at the front, the tombstone with the zombie. Does make me think, is that coming out, or is that going to be maybe relocated somewhere else? Who knows? But yeah, you get this big visual of the house itself, and yeah, all the colours just on here. It looks quite scary, doesn't it? You can see the dolls just there as well. There's the figure up in the window. Still got the for sale sign on the side just there as well, which is quite a nice touch. So yeah, I'm really liking what we're seeing from that promotional image. But let's just read out a few key bits then here from the press release that Alton Towers sent out this morning. So they are saying that this will be the most immersive dark ride to date at Alton Towers, which is quite a big statement to make when you've got Hex in your park, isn't it? I mean, I love Hex. I think it's a brilliant ride. Obviously, it's loosely based off a local legend as well, which is great. So yeah, it's going to take a lot to top that. However, I think the Curse at Alton Manor, you know, it's sounding and looking like it could be really positive. Not everything that was in Duel was bad. There was just some parts of it that weren't great. So if they've kept the good parts and added new parts in, we could be seeing a pretty special dark ride at Alton Towers, which does make me really excited. So yeah, the most immersive dark ride to date. Whether that's just marketing spiel or if it genuinely is, I guess we'll find out when this opens. And that leads me on to talk about when this ride will open. I'm expecting it to open at the start of the season. However, that isn't confirmed yet. What they have confirmed is spring. Now, I think because they're leaving it a little bit just in case it's not ready for the opening. However, we all know, of course, Nemesis is going to be closed throughout this year and we'll be back next year in 2024. I really can't see Alton Towers wanting to open the park at the start of the season with no Curse at Alton Manor and, of course, no Nemesis. So I'm expecting this to be ready for the start of the season. That isn't confirmation. However, I'd be very surprised if it isn't open for then. I think they'll really want it for the start of the season. They've confirmed spring. I guess we'll find out more soon. Now, also from the press release, this is what they've described the attraction as. So, a ride through haunted house that will use state-of-the-art special effects and visuals to scare riders in unimaginable ways that have never been seen before in the park. So, we're seeing effects here that haven't been used at Alton Towers and in the country in general, which is quite interesting because it also says special effects and visuals that have never been seen before from a UK theme park. Again, that's quite a big statement, but then you also think about what kind of dark rides and immersive experiences have we had in the UK. Maybe Darren Brown's Ghost Train could be classed as that. There was some pretty cool stuff in there, but yeah, they're saying this will have some really imaginative effects, which I like the sound of with this. Now, of course, Alton Towers is kind of keeping the story of the ride and its sinister past under wraps for now. Of course, we've got the image that's been released and the name, but there's still a lot of surprises yet to come with this. Also, it's worth pointing out from the press release, as much as it looks very scary and pretty terrifying, it does clearly state here that the attraction will frighten and excite both brave youngsters and adults. So we're not kind of expecting this to have an age limit of like 16 or anything like that. I don't think we're going to be seeing a full-on horror attraction. It's still going to be a family dark ride. However, it's going to be quite sinister and eerie, maybe not suitable for those who get scared easily. So I think it's going to be more scary than, of course, Duel, which was more defeating zombies in an interactive shooting dark ride, but not too full-on intense, kind of like, you know, Saw the Rides theming, you know, with all blood, gore and guts, that sort of thing. I don't think we're seeing that here. I think they're really going down this kind of, you know, this house. It's cursed, of course, with the name, the Curse at Alton Manor. Is that Emily Alton we can see having a big presence in the ride as well? I think it's more going to be eerie and disturbing than it is bloods and gore with this one. But obviously it's going to be up to you, and isn't it, if you want your children to go and experience this. But I don't think it's going to be too full on. I think it's more going to be a really immersive attraction. So that's all we know so far from the press release. More details are on the way in February. So of course we're entering February like next week. So hopefully we're going to find out some more information very soon. This project excites me. Ever since we first started hearing rumblings of this nearly a year ago now, it's really excited me, and of course it was waiting for the opportunity to really think, yeah, you know, Alton Towers are definitely doing something in there. We saw the ride was in a pretty poor state, in my opinion. That ride probably shouldn't have been operating, but I think it needed to stay operating last year because, of course, the current situation we've got when it comes to temporary funfair rides to fill up the park capacity. They couldn't have a big dark ride with quite a high throughput closed, even though it wasn't in the best show state, in my opinion. However, the money's been spent. They've done the work throughout the winter. The attraction's only been closed since September, and fingers crossed it'll be back open for March. However, that is still, like I say, yet to be confirmed. The official word on the ground is spring opening for the Curse at Alton Manor. How exciting is that? Let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments. As you can probably tell, I'm really excited for this one. One, because I love dark rides so much. I'd go as far to say I prefer dark rides to coasters. I absolutely love them. Two, it's at Alton Towers. You know, we've had some great rides in the past. We've had some poor rides in the past, but I've got a good feeling about this one. The fact that Mr. John Wardley himself is working on this, mixed in with the new creative team, with some fresh new ideas, putting that together, we could see something really special here. I just hope it's not disappointing. I don't want to go in there and just see all heavily screen based. We don't want to be seeing loads of black walls with nothing on. Hopefully it's going to be nice, fully immersive experience that'll last for many years and be very memorable for Alton Towers. Fingers crossed. Get your comments coming in down below and let us know your thoughts. And as always, here on Theme Park Worldwide, we'll keep you updated, even from the other side of the world, literally in a hotel room in Australia. And talking of that, there'll be another vlog coming up today, so don't worry about that. Just because we put this news update out doesn't mean it affects our vlogs from the trip. We've got Luna Park Sydney coming up later on tonight for you all on the channel, including on-ride POVs, and still lots more content to come from Australia, about another week's worth of content, and then we'll be moving into our Malaysia content as well, which is coming up, and we're about to make our way there very soon. But thank you very much for watching us here at Theme Park Worldwide, and that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you all in tonight's vlog.